All right, so I wanted to do just a little bit more discussion on Blackbeard the pirate, since he's a lot of people's favorite pirate, including myself. But you know, Blackbeard was born around the 1650 mark. Now, nobody can really confirm that, obviously, because there's not any written documents. But it is believed that he was born in Bristol, England, which is on the southwest coast of England. And he, you know, with that being said, he grew up in a environment to where seafaring would obviously be a way of life. So from there, he was involved in Queen Anne's War, which ended around the 1715 mark. And you know, as a lot of men who were involved in that war, he was out of work as soon as it concluded. So he got in with this captain by the last name of Hornigold, and he and Hornigold made their way down to Nassau, Bahamas, on New Providence Island, and that's kind of where they used that terrain as kind of their hiding place for all of their different pillages. And then from there they kind of went up the coast of the colonies and upward and downward, and I think they took about 40 ships during that time. And at one point, Hornigold and Blackbeard parted ways, and Blackbeard kind of took on his own reputation as being a fierce pirate when he captured this ship called El Capitan way down in the Western Antilles. And he took that ship and he turned it into his own. He called it the Queen Anne's Revenge. And I think he had 40 guns, had a crew of about 300, and that's where he really started getting that reputation as a force to be reckoned with. You know, and he kind of went on doing that for a short time, really. It seems like a long time, but a pirate's life is short. He did that for about 2 years, from about 1716 to 18. And finally, he got tired of it, and he went up to North Carolina, where he actually received a royal pardon by the governor in North Carolina, and he gave up pirating for a short time. And as many people who have bad habits, kind of picked it back up again. And you got to understand, you see, Virginia, which was one colony north of North Carolina, had a better reputation amongst the elite of England. So the governor of Virginia caught wind that he was continuing his ways of a pirate, and sent a man by the name of Robert Maynard in 1718. You know, late November, early December of 1718, he was going to send Robert Maynard down to take care of Blackbeard once and for all. Well, there was a tip given that Blackbeard was actually anchoring off the outer banks at a place called Ocracoke Island. And sure enough, when Maynard and his crew came from Hampton, Virginia, down to the place where Blackbeard was hiding out, they saw the mast of his sloop just inside of an inlet right there at Ocracoke. And ironically, Blackbeard had been partying all night long, and Maynard and his men waited it out. And in the early morning hours of December 1st, 1718, Maynard and his crew did attack Blackbeard. And Blackbeard at the time was somewhere between 35 and 40 years old, a veteran, and it turned out he was a really tough out. Maynard had to resort to surprise tactics. What he did was he told his men to go down below deck, and with that visual happening, Blackbeard boarded the ship, assuming that he had attacked and killed all of Maynard's men. And when he did board the ship there, Maynard called for his men to come back up. And when they came back up, they cornered Blackbeard, and he took to fighting with Maynard himself, who really got lucky because Blackbeard fired a shot from his musket and missed Robert Maynard. But about the same time, one of Maynard's men came up behind Blackbeard, stabbed him in the back with his sword, and Maynard was able to shoot him 5 times with a variety of different muskets, with the help of some of his men from the front side. And Blackbeard took about 20 slashes from the cutlass of other men, and one of them finally was able to behead Blackbeard, and that was the end of him. But their legend says that even after they beheaded Blackbeard and they threw his body overboard right there at Ocracoke Island, the legend says that he swam around the boat one time or more before sinking to the bottom of the shallow water there. Now, I've done some other research to find out some other things about Blackbeard. You know, they obviously threw his body overboard, but they brought his head back as a trophy. They brought it back up to Hampton, Virginia. And there's a small cove in Hampton, Virginia, and they say that they kept Blackbeard's head there on a post for as long as it would stay there until it fell off into the shallow water in Hampton, Virginia. Now, I tried to find that spot with the help of a guy named Randy Ganarski, who's the leader of the pirate festival that they have there every year. And he told me some other information I thought was pretty interesting. He actually told me that there's some research that says that Blackbeard's name was not really Edward Teach, that in fact he had stole that name from an Englishman and used that name to gain leverage on other people and kind of gain a better reputation. Some people, including Randy Ganarski there, believe that Blackbeard actually was a resident of North Carolina the whole time, and just kind of his legend built and made it look like he's bigger and badder than he really was. But that's kind of my take on Blackbeard the pirate. It's very intriguing. You know, it's pieced together through different accounts here and there. So take it as you will. But at the same time, he's a very intriguing figure, one of note, and definitely one I'm interested in. So I hope you enjoyed that little piece on Blackbeard the pirate. And we'll continue our exploration of St. Augustine, Florida. And we'll see you soon.